Hey ladies, so I wanted to do this video because we're out of the holidays, so I know December is extremely difficult, and then kind of January because you're kind of getting back into a lot of your routine that you got out of in December. So I wanted to do this video for you ladies going into February about consistency and seeing results. I know a lot of you guys during the holidays, kind of December going into January, maintained, which it doesn't seem like much, but most people, majority of people, I think it's 70 to 80%, gain about 5 to 8 pounds between the months of November and going into January. So if you maintain, that's definitely a win. This video is going to be just how to see results and what is consistency. Like, how do we define what consistency is? The simple and very boring concept that sometimes is actually very hard to do. And sometimes we're just not very honest with ourselves about how consistent we really are, or we don't really realize how inconsistent we are because we are not really tracking or have any measure of what consistency looks like. So what does it look like to see results? And when I say results, I mean weight loss, your body fat dropping, inches coming off, toning, all that. So think of consistency in this realm, what we're doing, and I'm talking about nutrition here. So we're not really going into training, anything outside of that, because those results that I just named, 80 to 90% is going to be nutrition. So if you're strength training twice a week, you're good. That part is done. Now the nutrition part is where the key comes in. So what does that look like? So if you're either logging your macros or you're following a framework of meals you're supposed to be eating, or if you have a meal plan, this is what consistency looks like for all these things. So if what is considered consistency? I would say 70 to 80% of your week you're doing the nutrition things that I have put out for you, right? So you say, okay, what is 70 to 80%? So if you multiply 0.7 or 0.8 by 7 days out the week, it's about 4 to 5 days out of the week. So 4 to 5 days out of the week, you must be hitting your nutrition goals that I've set for you. I've set them depending on your height, your weight, where you are, kind of history, which you've had, going on in the past. So these nutrition goals is you need to be in this range 70 to 80% of the time in order to see results. And that doesn't mean like, I'm gonna hit 4 to 5 days this week and then next week I fall off, and then no, it's 4 to 5 days on a consistent basis. And I'm gonna give you guys tips on how to do that. So I'm not just telling you, what consistency looks like. I'm gonna help you guys achieve that consistency, especially after the holidays is kind of, we're done with that. We're back in routine. I want to really motivate you guys, especially going to, into spring and summer. It's getting warmer, to really seeing those results. Also, if you have less than 20 pounds to lose, these are your last 20, you don't have much, you're not, in overweight or an obese range, you need to be a little bit more consistent because your body tends to hold on to fat a lot stronger if you have less to lose. So you need to be about 80 to 85%. That's still not perfection, right? Which is about 5 to 6 days out of the week that you're hitting your nutrition goals. So definitely, if you have maintained during the holidays, that's definitely a win. And I want you to congratulate yourself, give yourself a pat on the back. So I'm going to give you guys the 3 things that clients who are the most successful and are seeing the best results, what they're doing to be the most consistent. Number 1, they're on time with their check-ins, and not because of the action of just filling it out. It's more of the mindset that is a priority. So prioritizing the check-in, because that allows me, the space to help you however you need to be helped and supported. The second thing is they're hitting their nutrition goals 70 to 80% of the time. So that means they're in their macro range, or they're following their meal plan or their framework at least 4 to 5 days per week on a consistent basis. Your macro range is not, you have to hit your exact numbers. It's a range. So if I set your protein to 110 grams, your range can be somewhere between 10 grams over, 10 grams under, so you have a lot of playroom. You just need to be in that range. The third thing is they set up the right environment and their habits. They really prioritize. And this is probably, I should have put this number 1. This is probably the most important piece, because if you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail. It's simple as that. They prioritize meal planning in some form. And I'm not saying they're meal prepping, just planning their food. This can take as simple as 10 minutes. And the second thing is, don't just wing it. Like, I'll do it when I have time. That's not prioritizing. That's not planning. You're planning to fail. So every single week, this should be something on your calendar. Like, that is how important it is. Everything that is important to you, the way you organize it in your life, whether you have a calendar, whether you have a journal. If you have to be at a work meeting, is it on your calendar? If you have to pick up your kids from, a school activity, is that on your calendar? Like, how do you prioritize the things in your life where you can prioritize meal planning in the same way? This takes as little as 10 minutes. You just block off a time. It needs to be the same day, around the same time every single week. So you create that habit, and it's a prioritization for that week. Every single week, you're going to feel so much lighter, clearer, and more organized when you have a plan together rather than trying to wing it on a day-to-day basis. So make sure you put that in your calendar. Block off time every week, 10 minutes. You can write it in your notes like, okay, these are my breakfasts for the week, lunches for the week, dinners for the week. Here are some snacks. You can do it in a meal planner. Whatever makes sense for you, you can just text it. Whatever makes sense for you, but prioritize meal planning. That's so important. If you get nothing from this video, get this. Prioritize your meal planning and do it on a weekly basis. The second thing that these clients are seeing the most results is they have staple meals that they go to. So they're not doing like a different breakfast every week. They're not like, oh, what am I going to eat for lunch? They usually have 2 or 3 go-tos for breakfast, 2 or 3 go-tos for lunch, their go-to snacks, their go-to dinners, and they throw in recipes here and there, but they have those staple meals that they know, okay, if I eat these staple meals throughout the day, I'm in my macro range or I'm hitting my meal plan. Because again, that's creating less resistance, so you're not having to overthink, you're not having to do guesswork. When you overthink, it's overwhelming, you feel discouraged. So we're trying to create the least amount of resistance as possible to make this easy, okay? We want to create habits that it's easy to do, and create environments that's, to kind of stick to things. You want to have that right environment. So if you have groceries in the fridge, you're creating the right environment, because now when you're not at groceries, you're just going to eat whatever's in the house. It's simple as that. You're eating out of convenience, So make sure that, you have those staple meals, kind of write them down. You can go outside them, but you have those staple meals. And then thirdly, you have the groceries for your staple meals, okay? You should grocery shop at least once a week. Like, that should be another thing on your calendar. I grocery shop, because what happens is we wait too late until we have nothing left, and then we're eating whatever, and then we feel like we're behind. Then we have to rush to the grocery store, because now we're in this rushed, overwhelmed, unorganized state, rather than if we create that right environment. And all we have to do is just set a little bit of time aside on a weekly basis, 10 minutes to prioritize. That's all you need. I don't know how many minutes in a week, but 10 of those minutes, probably about 1% of your week, should go to planning your meals and going to the grocery store. Plan when those grocery store trips are going to happen. So I hope you guys take some of this, and apply it to what you have going on to really kind of continue to see your results. And especially if you want to see that scale move, you want to see those inches go down. This is super important, and nutrition is the foundation, okay? You cannot out-exercise your nutrition. So especially now, especially the older we get, it's not possible. So I'm actually and I'll write a message as well. I want to do a March challenge, so that'll help you guys kind of, reset and kind of get a little bit back in order, but apply these principles as soon as you can, and I hope everybody has an amazing day.